Alfred was born on September 3rd, 1970. He was a small baby who was always smiling. He had great parents. They were loving, caring, and were always telling him to do the right thing. He grew up in the great city of New York. The city was always moving. It was full of life and happiness. Alfred loved his life in the city. Alfred was a well-behaved, straight-A student. His parents made sure he had a good education. He was a peacemaker and a leader in his school years. Alfred grew up in deep love for his city and country. He was a very patriotic young man. He dreamed of doing something one day for his country. He got a job in the Twin Towers. He worked very hard at his job, but still kept his dream. On September 11th, 2001, United Airlines Flight 935 took off. It continued on its path toward the Twin Towers. The planes crashed into the towers. Inside, chaos erupts and people are frantically running everywhere. They look for a leader, but none can be found. Alfred restores serenity in the building. He is able to safely get everyone on his level to the stairs and out of the building. Soon, many people are able to clear the area. Alfred soon realizes he cannot escape the burning building himself. He decides to go to the roof. He looks out at the world one last time before he allows God to take his soul. Alfred was born on September 3rd, 1970. He was a small baby who rarely laughed. His parents were disencouraging and did not give him the love he deserved. Alfred grew up in the smoggy, dirty city of New York. He disliked everything from the buildings to the people. Alfred's life with his parents made it impossible for him to love the city. Alfred's days of school were marred with dark and thoughtless acts. Already depressed, Alfred picked fights for no reason. His parents destroyed his inside, and he had a very unfortunate school experience. He strongly disliked his country very much. He blamed his rough beginning on the government for turning a blind eye on cases like this. If only there was a way to get revenge. Alfred put these dark thoughts in the back of his mind and found a job in the Twin Towers. One day he was approached at his job by strange men. They said they knew how much he wanted to get revenge on his country, and told him that he could just by telling them the safety features of the towers he was working in. Alfred expected it was just a small act to harm the buildings and not anyone. He willingly gave them the information. On September 11th, 2001, United Airlines Flight 935 took off and was soon hijacked by terrorists heading toward New York City. The terrorists knew the safety features of the building and knew exactly where to strike. The plane crashes into the Twin Towers. Inside, chaos erupts, but Alfred knows there's nothing he can do. He wondered how the plane did damage the towers so well. Even so, he knew he did it. Immediately, some people are able to escape, but on Alfred's floor, no one takes control to save lives. In the insanity, no one can take the stairs, and many die. Ready for a dark death, Alfred decides to look at the city he hated once more. Thoughts came flooding back to him. How did they know where to strike? How could they do such a thing? Suddenly, realization hits Alfred like a tidal wave. Those men, the questions they asked, they did this, and I... Filled with horror at the atrocity he had done, Alfred looked at the panicked streets. This was all my fault. Alfred didn't even blink as he threw himself off the tower.